Howdy, y'all. Brian Riker here from Fast Forward Marketing. Thanks for joining first episode of Tooth Mogul. We're going to be looking at some really cool stuff today. Tooth Mogul is really the identifier, or what I call the hard look at tooth moguls. Well, really what they are innovators. Folks who have stepped out of did the hard work and somehow brought to light a really something special within a company, within a product, within a service that is super outstanding. So today, we're going to be looking at a 200-year-old company. Pretty cool, right? 200 years old. How many companies are 200 years old? And we're going to be looking at an individual, the CEO of that company and owner of that company, Tom Gallop. And we got some questions for him. We're going to be diving a little deep into some little secret sauce, a little magic that the company has, and what Tom Gallop has done to bring that magic out. So my first question for Tom is, what are you most proud of being an owner and caretaker, CEO of SS White with all these cool innovations in all your years of being a dental professional? What are you most proud of, Tom?
Wow, great question. Well, I think really working with the channel and our sales and marketing team and our whole company really around trying to change dentistry for the better. A lot of key opinion leaders have helped us along the way, but developing the most minimally invasive cavity prep system, the most minimally invasive endodontic system, and the resulting better patient outcomes that generates, that has led to really the whole market in endo going minimally invasive and a lot more minimally invasive across the whole spectrum. So I think being involved in starting the minimally invasive movement in dentistry, we also probably secondarily just we developed 6 ways to save doctors over 100 hours of chair time.
Wow.
And the efficiency that's driven. So I think between time savings and minimally invasive and the resulting some practice growth that comes from that has really been gratifying to be able to help doctors with bigger problems.
That's incredible. You don't hear that very often. So I heard you mention core. Right. So what was your thoughts for branding that core innovation and how you kind of, crafted that so it's out. So it's a living, breathing thing now. What was your thought behind that?
Well, CORE is an acronym that stands for Conservation, Organization, Referrals, and Efficiency. And it was initially an internally used phrase that would galvanize the team around, okay, we want to be looking, the last 10 years, we've been looking for products to conserve healthy tissue or help the doctor be more organized or help the doctor grow their practice via referrals or generate efficiency. And, it was initially an internal phrase that we used to help focus the team, whether it's in product development or in sales and marketing or operations. And that was really helpful. But then we started using it externally as well, just to show the doctors the full umbrella and the dealer channel of what we're about. So core is saving 40 to 70% more healthy tissue when you're doing cavity preps or root canals. That'd be C, conservation. We have 4 ways to conserve 40 to 70% more healthy tissue than doctors were taught in dental school. And Dr. Howard Glazier says that helps add 10 years of life to the tooth. Because the real strength comes from the dentin, and we want to conserve that dentin because it gives us a flexibility and the ability to withstand the forces in the mouth. And O is for organization, and so we help doctors have the parts they want when they want them, whether it's burr blocks or cabinets. I kind of joke a little bit that we needed a vowel. Those, organization is impressive. But some doctors, young doctors, really need that and want that, and that's a big thing for them. But
absolutely,
growing the practice, especially as we come into recessionary potential times, is more and more critical. Dr. Bob Lowe in North Carolina, professor at North Carolina, did a webinar for us about how he uses comfortable cavity preps to generate hundreds of referrals, which just 100 referrals for a doctor is worth $40,000 or $44,000 according to the ADA.
Wow.
You know, yeah. So, and then efficiency, I already talked. We've come up with 6 ways to save up to 100 hours of chair time. Whether it's, you know, polishing quicker or cutting zirconia off faster or metal cutting, those kinds of things. But really love solving bigger problems of the doctor and winning at the doctor level. And that's what Core does.
Yeah, I remember, you know, SS White came out with Great Whites and some really amazing, innovative products that were just, I mean, people couldn't knock it off fast enough, is what I saw. You know, I guess flattery is the best form, right? So
Well,
Great Whites, Fisherotomy, my God, I mean, those are barn burner products.
yeah, Fisherotomy was a really fun one. I mean, the name, it kind of says it all. It's the science of cutting fissures. And we worked with a key opinion leader and a cariologist, that's someone that studies dental caries, and Dr. Dan Boston at Temple University. And we looked at all the research and did some research on average enamel wall thickness and how hidden caries were showing up and how we could help the doctors diagnose it much more accurately and much more minimally invasively, and also grow their practice at the same time. So it allowed doctors to save, you know, according to Gordon Christensen, you don't need to use anesthetic with Fisherotomy up to the DEJ. And then, so that's a 10-minute time savings. Then you've got the potential to engage the patient and grow referrals from that, but you also got 40 or 70% more minimally invasive. So a real benefit from Fisherotomy, and a real fun one that we launched.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just seeing the buzz at convention floors and things like that. I mean, it's a big deal, and I think that was one of the things that contributed to you don't really see air abrasion anymore. And I think Fisherotomy kind of put the nail in that coffin, as they say. Tom, with all these amazing,
we invented air abrasion too, by the way. We could have sold air abrasion, but the reason we didn't is because we think the doctor has more control with the burr, can be more minimally invasive, less mess, less cost. And, you know, so we invented air abrasion, could sell air abrasion, don't, because we don't think the doctor needs it or wants it as much.
So Tom, with all these like groundbreaking inventions and innovations that you guys brought to the table in dentistry, you had to have had a mentor. And if that mentor was here, what would he say to you right now? What would he say to everybody else? Because some of this stuff is just, it's, you know, your products are so far ahead of its time. So
well, I don't deserve all the credit for all these products. I mean,
yes, you have teams, definitely have teams,
product development people that help with that. But you know, my dad is a great mentor to me. I've read 35 books on Abraham Lincoln. That's been very helpful for me to understand his belief system and how he dealt with loss and adversity, and how really working on vision and creating compelling futures for everybody, whether it's the dealer rep or the doctor or the SS White team member. So all those things, you know, studying Lincoln really helped me with those things, as well as realizing that you don't really have as bad of a day as maybe you think.
right?
You know, he dealt with a little bit bigger issues than we had to deal with, maybe.
So what? All right. So with the words of Lincoln and all your innovation, what would be like a quick little sentence we could give all the newbies coming out there in our industry, which is a great one, by the way. And what would be your kind words of advice to the folks that maybe new and existing? What would that look like?
I mean, if you're talking about a new
From your perspective,
a new dental dealer rep, I
well,
would say
dental professionals as a whole.
Yeah, number one, it's a great profession. I mean, we have in the last 50 years, and SS White's proud to have been a part of this, we've really transformed dental health in America and in the world. I mean, we have more dentition, more teeth in our mouth than we've ever had in the history of mankind. And most 50 or 60-year-olds, 100 years ago would have lost well over half their teeth. Now it's not uncommon for a 60-year-old man to have, or woman to have, all their teeth. And that's because of the progress we've made on minimally invasive and better diagnostics and improvements. Estes White was involved in forming the first dental school and the first dental journal, which became the ADA Journal, to share best practices. And so I'd say we got to remember that we came from barbershops. We were a barber, a dentist was a barber, and we've now become a profession because we pursued continuous improvement. And we also educated each other. We didn't keep secrets. Back in the day, it was real secretive. Now we share best practices and we work on continuously improving. And I challenge you to embrace that, to really be open to bringing the better products to bear, to having conversations with doctors about their problems and solutions, and then teaching other doctors what you learned from this doctor. But yeah. I would say we have a great profession because we are continuously improving. We are a lot lower cost to the patient than medical. And we've been a more efficient provider. Thus, I think it's been a great service to the public. So I'd encourage dental professionals to embrace continuous improvement, embrace education, educate yourself, and educate those around you on how we can continue to improve the dental health of the patient. It starts with creating better patient outcomes. And then the second thing is helping the doctor, save time and, save healthy tissue and build their practice so that they can, bring better services for lower costs to their patients.
Well, Tom, that's great. Hey, this kind of wraps up our first episode of Tooth Mogul. Tom, I want to thank you so much for joining us and your words of advice to the new dental professionals out there. That certainly is something that, it's something to write about. So we thank you so much for joining us. And certainly, guys, you want to all check out SS White, the innovation. Tom, you're at most of the meetings, dental meetings out there, so you're not a hard guy to find. So we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, let us know if there's anything we can do to help you,
Awesome.
help your doctors, save time, grow your practice, or create better patient outcomes.
Excellent.
That's what we're all about.
Thanks, Tom. Till next time, episode
Take
number
care.
2. Thanks, everybody.